Kong's Special Administrative Region to tell us her insights on these topics.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It is my honor to join this year's Hong Kong FinTech Week and Start Me Up Hong Kong Festival, marking my attendance for the third year. I'm glad to see the integration of two flagship tech events into a unified platform this year, gathering more leading experts, entrepreneurs, investors, and other stakeholders from the business and technology sectors. All share the passion to collaborate in shaping a more sustainable and resilient future driven by innovation. I wish to take this opportunity to share with you our decarbonization strategies, including examples of innovation attempts made by the government and our stakeholders. Climate change is the defining challenge of our times. In August 2025, the Hong Kong Observatory issued 3 black rainstorm warning signals within 4 days, not to mention Typhoon Whipper in July 2025 and Typhoon Ragasa in September 2025. All these events underline the imminence to address the issue of climate change. Our country remains steadfast in its climate actions and has pledged to reach peak carbon emissions by 2030 and achieve carbon neutrality by 2060. To align with these national goals, the Hong Kong SAR government has promulgated the Climate Action Plan 2050 in October 2021, with a goal to reduce carbon emissions by half from the 2005 levels by 2035, and to achieve carbon neutrality by 2050. Hong Kong's carbon emissions reached its peak in 2014, and our per capita carbon emissions decreased by about 27% to around 4.58 tons in 2023. We are making good progress on the 4 major strategies of the Climate Action Plan 2050, namely net zero electricity generation, energy savings and green buildings, green transport, and waste reduction. Electricity generation accounts for about 61% of our carbon emissions. We have significantly reduced our reliance on coal, with its share in the fuel mix for electricity generation decreased from about 50% in 2015 to about 20% now. We have increased our use of natural gas and zero carbon energy in the fuel mix. The offshore liquefied natural gas receiving terminal commenced operation in July 2023. The proportion of zero carbon energy in the fuel mix will increase to about 35% by 2026, with the expected completion of the reinforcement project of the clean energy transmission system, and will further increase to about 60% to 70% by 2035 or earlier, with the completion of the new power facilities in Area 132 of Tseung Kwan O. Hong Kong will cease using coal for our daily electricity generation by 2035. On renewable energy, the government is leading by example and encouraging private sector participation. Through various renewable energy projects, we expect to generate more than 500 million kilowatt hours of electricity annually, reducing carbon emissions by about 540,000 tons. The Electrical and Mechanical Services Department has launched a BIPV pilot scheme at its headquarters to explore photovoltaic technology applications on the facades of the building, with a view to encouraging various sectors of the community to develop renewable energy at their premises. Hydrogen energy is a promising new energy source, which is a clean energy and with a wide range of applications. Our country has recently given green light to accelerate its hydrogen industry as part of the 15th National Five-Year Plan. On the part of Hong Kong, the Interdepartmental Working Group on Using Hydrogen as Fuel has been set up since mid-2022 to remove barriers and facilitate local hydrogen applications. So far, 28 trial projects were given agreement in principle, covering hydrogen buses, hydrogen street washing vehicles, a public hydrogen filling station in the new territories, production of hydrogen from landfill gas or solar panels, extracting hydrogen from town gas, and mobile machinery driven by electricity generated from hydrogen. We have plans to establish hydrogen filling stations on Hong Kong Island and in Kowloon, in addition to the one in the new territories. The government has made top-level planning through the Strategy of Hydrogen Development in Hong Kong, announced in 2024. We amended the Gas Safety Ordinance in July 2025 to expand its scope to cover regulating the safe use of hydrogen as fuel. We will formulate the approach in 2027 for certifying a hydrogen standard that aligns with international practices and the Hong Kong circumstances. As enshrined in the 2025 policy address, we will strengthen cooperation with the Guangdong province to jointly develop the Greater Bay Area Hydrogen Corridor. Buildings account for about 90% of our total electricity consumption, and energy savings in building is an important component in our strategy. We target to reduce the electricity consumption of commercial buildings by 30% to 40% and that of residential buildings by 20% to 30% from the 2015 levels by 2050, and to achieve half of these targets by 2035. Through multi-pronged energy-saving measures, we estimate that a total of about 3.7 billion kilowatt-hours of electricity was saved in 2024 as compared to 2015, equivalent to the annual electricity consumption of about 1 million three-person households. The fourth phase of the mandatory energy efficiency labeling scheme has been fully implemented since December 2024. The third upgrading of the energy efficiency standard has also come into full implementation since September 2025. The amended Buildings Energy Efficiency Ordinance will take full effect in September 2026. It seeks to improve the energy efficiency of buildings by extending the scope of regulation to more types of buildings, shorten the interval of energy audit from 10 years to 5 years, and mandate the disclosure of technical information in energy audit reports. We have been supporting local development of green technology, transforming R&D projects with application potential into commercially valuable products or technologies. We are assisting a local company in setting up production lines to upscale the local waste materials into core materials for electricity-free cooling products. Such paint can be applied to buildings' rooftop or exterior walls to reduce the indoor temperature through passive radiative heat dissipation, thereby effectively reducing energy consumption for air conditioning. This electricity-free cooling technology has been successfully applied to the rooftop of the Hong Kong Coliseum, one of the competition venues of the 15th National Games, for reducing energy consumption. Transport accounts for about 18% of our carbon emissions. Hong Kong has become a world leader in the adoption of electric vehicles, with nearly 70% of our newly registered private cars now being electric vehicles. The government is vigorously expanding the EV charging network across Hong Kong. Through various measures highlighted in the slide, we would have 200,000 charging-enabled parking spaces by mid-2027. Our target is to cease new registration of fuel-propelled and hybrid private cars in 2035 or earlier. Compared to traditional fuel-propelled vehicles, hydrogen vehicles offer the advantages of zero emission, high energy efficiency, long driving ranges, and minimal noise pollution, etc. As mentioned before, the first local hydrogen fuel cell double-deck bus commenced services in early 2024, and the public hydrogen filling station and 3 hydrogen fuel cell street washing vehicles commenced operation in mid-2025. We promulgated the Green Transformation Roadmap of public buses and taxis in December 2024. We aim to introduce about 700 electric buses and 3,000 electric taxis in Hong Kong by 2027. In addition, we aspire to develop Hong Kong into a green shipping hub and a green aviation hub. In the maritime sector, the government has promulgated the Action Plan for Green Maritime Fuel Bunkering. The first electric ferry has commenced carrying passengers in regular sailings since June 2025. The government will develop a sustainable aviation fuel value chain with a goal for flights departing from the Hong Kong International Airport to use about 1% to 2% of sustainable aviation fuel by 2030. Waste accounts for about 8% of our carbon emissions. The daily average quantity of municipal solid waste disposed of at landfills consistently declined for 3 consecutive years since 2021, marking a total reduction of about 7.5% by 2024. The overall recovery rates also rose from about 28% in 2020 to about 34% in 2024. To achieve zero landfill by 2035, we will continue to promote waste reduction and recycling, improve the recycling network, enhance collaboration with the industry, and leverage the market to develop environmental infrastructure. The number of residential food waste smart recycling bins or food waste collection facilities across the territory will increase to around 1,600 within 2025. Legislation was enacted in July 2025 to establish a common legislative framework for producer responsibility schemes, thus facilitating the future inclusion of certain products in such schemes. On waste-to-energy facilities, the iPark-1, with a processing capacity of 3,000 tons, is expected to begin operation within 2025, while the tender period for our iPark-2, with a processing capacity of 6,000 tons, expired in October 2025. As mentioned earlier, we have been supporting local development of green technology, transforming R&D projects with application potential into commercially valuable products or technologies. Examples include support through the 400 million Green Tech Fund. We are assisting a local company in setting up production lines to upcycle recycled plastics into noise-absorbing metal materials. The technology achieves plastic recycling, noise reduction, and replacement of traditional high-energy consuming acoustic materials in one single process, thereby contributing to environmental protection and carbon reduction. To combat climate change effectively, we need to enhance our climate resilience to protect life, property of our people from extreme weather. Artificial intelligence is playing an increasingly important role in this area. Since mid-2023, the Hong Kong Observatory has been running several AI models to support operational forecasting, such as tropical cyclone track forecasting. The AI models have successfully forecasted many tropical cyclones this year to an accuracy even better than traditional weather prediction models. Example here shows an early forecast for Super Typhoon Ragasa 6 days before it is closest to Hong Kong. The AI models, lines in pink, gave consistent and promising forecasts for Ragasa's tracks. This is better than the traditional weather prediction models, lines in blue, from the state-of-art from the state-of-the-art traditional physical weather prediction models elsewhere. Good tools are prerequisites to success. The government attaches importance to adopting innovation technologies, example, artificial intelligence and robots, etc., in our work. The efforts of EEB and EPD have won recognitions both locally and internationally over the years, as shown in these 3 slides. Ladies and gentlemen, addressing the global challenge of climate change requires the concerted efforts from all of us. Together, let us leverage technological advancements and embrace innovation to pave the way for a brighter, more resilient, and sustainable future. I wish you every success in the conference. Last but not least, 7th December is the polling day of our local election, and we appeal to you all to support the coming election. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ms. Wong, for your inspiring words, and we will make sure we have the 7th of December in our minds. Now it's a break for some food, more connections. Saying hello to Samantha. We will be back here at 1:30. Remember, we have